So we retired about 7 years ago, give or take.
Correct.
And we had no idea what was going to happen next. And
No.
I at least had no idea. It was a journey, and you'd go up, and then you'd go down, and then you'd come back up again. And now we're up over here, but we started up playing, having fun, matinees, wine for lunch, all that good stuff. And then what happened?
Yeah, we got tired of playing, but we also started to be we lost our footing. We couldn't figure out who we were. I
We
mean, I
couldn't.
think all of a sudden it was kind of you'd go to a party, I'd go to a class, people would say, "What do you do?" And you go, "Bleh."
You didn't want
Anyway,
to say, "Oh,
yeah,
I was a really cool lawyer,"
right. Past
because
tense
that sounds
sounds dead.
stupid, and
Yeah,
you didn't know what you were now except retired. But when you said retired, people turned around and walked away, so that was discouraging.
and it made you feel retired.
It made you feel like you were no longer
Yeah,
part of the world,
yeah,
and that
retreating.
was really, really
I
terrible.
think that was a low point in
Yep.
your
That was a
that
low
was
point.
that
This
was
is
a
when we hit
low,
here,
yes, of
and
saying, I have no idea who I am now.
then we said to ourselves, "This is ridiculous. We're really people who spent 40 years working, being very successful, doing all kinds of exciting things, and suddenly we can't figure out what to do just because we're retired." And we said, "Let's get on this problem."
Yeah, I think that's kind of a summary of what happened. I think it took us a while to figure out it was a problem that it wasn't just us. I mean,
Yes.
I think initially we thought, wow, how did other people figure this out? Because are we alone in
Right.
this weird feeling? And then we started talking to people and realized it wasn't, we weren't alone.
We weren't alone, and a lot of people just sort of said, "That's the way it is."
Yeah.
And you and I said, and we learned at this point we had possibly a 30-year runway ahead of us. We said, for 30 years, we have to apologize for being alive? No, we're going to make something of this. What are we going to do?
Well, we met a lot of people that were content with saying, I was something and now I'm playing with my grandchildren or I'm taking classes, or we met a woman that was getting a doctorate, or, I mean, there were a lot of people that had a lot of activities, and there was a lot of talk about how do you fill up your day. I think
Right. And we didn't
that
have
seemed
a
like a weird
problem.
question.
Yeah, we didn't have a problem filling
Yeah.
our day, but we've suddenly, not suddenly, over the course of time, we said what we need is purpose
And identity. I mean, we
and
weren't
identity.
going to say I am a flower person or
Right.
I am a lunch person.
Partly because we were not good at that. After the
No.
first few months, we were just not interested anymore, and we wanted something bigger. So
Yeah.
we
It wasn't
sat.
fulfilling enough.
It wasn't.
Yeah. I think
So
that's
we
right.
sat in a park one day and with our sandwiches, and we said, "Okay, let's have a blog." And then we said to each other, "Okay, great. What is a blog?" And then we figured
We
that
looked it
out.
up.
We looked it up,
Looked it
and
up.
then we saw we had to have a website too. And we said, "Wow, I wonder how you get a website." And so then we knew the answer to both of these questions was to ask somebody much younger than us for help.
Yeah, and then my daughter, Jessie, put together a website, which was really interesting because she was entranced with the notion of our differences. You remember that?
I
She
remember.
said, I think this can work because you guys are so different that people will be interested in the differences and how you navigate this new time of your life. And so she did a mock-up,
She
right?
did a beautiful mock-up, yes,
And
of a
then
website.
right,
Yep.
and said this is what it would kind of look like, but I have a job.
So you find someone
So-
else to handle this now.
Right. So
And
I'm gone
we
now.
did.
And we did.
So we
We
found
did.
this lovely young-ish man who, once he grasped what it is we were trying to achieve, said, "Oh, my mother would love this idea."
That's
And we
true.
said, "Okay,
It's
then
true.
I guess we're on to something."
But it became easier on the identity front to start
Yes.
saying we're working on something. I think it was the notion
Yes.
of saying we're doing actual work that's not easy that made us feel like we were getting our footing
And
back.
has an objective.
Yeah,
Yes.
that we had a purpose, we had a mission, it was work, wasn't easy.
No, certainly was not.
And I think that started filling in the identity piece of that.
So that's the beginning.